In this episode, I'm gonna show you guys how to annoy somebody with your footwear. Retro God back with another one. Yeah, we're about to make somebody's girlfriend or mom pretty angry with these. The unboxing experience on these is mod. I open a box and a man was about to lose an eye, for God's sake. You know, if you cop these, I rate you. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. We about to get into it, man. Damn. All right, so let's see where my $300 is going to, because we all know that Foamposites are like one of the most expensive shoes that you can get. So let's start off with this upper, man. The first thing I noticed immediately as soon as I picked these up, obviously other than the blinding colors, the fact that these are kind of like soapy in feel. They actually feel pretty, like, I don't know how to that's the only way I can describe it. They feel soapy. Like, I don't know, like slithering, or these are the words that come to mind. Like, I don't know why Harry Potter words come to mind, but anyways, it's hard to describe the texture of this stuff. It's almost like a snake skin, because for anybody who actually has a snake, you could tell it's kind of like smooth feeling, and that's almost the effect that these have. Now, a lot of people are just gonna love or hate these shoes. It just is what it is. I mean, these are super fire to me, but you know, your mom or your girlfriend might tell you they're leaving you after seeing these on foot. There's not much to say about the colorway here. All Volt upper. The lacelet section is actually done in that kind of scaly Volt color as well, as I said, but that's actually a leather with a Volt overlay print, I believe. Yeah, because that's not gonna be, there's no way to get the leather colored that way naturally. These shoes are only for the bravest of heart. You gotta be a real sneakerhead to be wearing these. You pull up in these and you're grabbing everybody's attention. Stretchy neoprene tongue on here. This shoe is like really plasticky, but I mean, they do have a lot of neoprene, but man, when you're talking about that Foamposite outer shell, it's like, I don't know how much breathability you're gonna get. You actually see a couple of perforation holes in the toe box there going along the leather, and I'm not sure how much that actually helps out for aeration. You also notice that all black stripe going straight down the center. Foamposites, for people who don't know, are one of the most comfortable shoes on foot, and I never actually realized that, to tell you the truth. I thought they were bricks because they were 100% plastic looking. I didn't think they had any movement, and I didn't think they wore in very well. There is no real mud guard. It's basically the outsole that creeps up. All Volt laces in your standard kind of like basketball netty, almost weird half basketball net, half regular laces. It's like a plastic button that thing is on, but it's a really nice detail. And you have your double racing stripe going up for that second tab on the tongue, and that's basically how you get these shoes on, because you really got to squeeze them in at first. You know what I mean? That's what she said. You guys got some badass kids and you have trouble keeping track of them in a large crowd? Well, got some extra long laces and a whole bunch of lacelets here, so you are gonna have a good amount of grab on your foot. You know what I mean? It's gonna grab and she ain't gonna let go until you're done. It takes a while to break these in. They do break in, but I mean, if you're playing ball in them, you gotta put a couple rounds in. It ain't your regular like Curry, or like, I mean, it ain't a Kyrie, I'll tell you that much. The main reason I'm super happy these came out is because I finally got a reason to wear this sweater for once. This shit was sitting in my closet, and Volt does not look good when it collects dust, I promise you that. These is bricks at first, but they don't do a lot of stretching lengthwise, but they do break in the flex area here. So I mean, that's one thing to look out for. Retail's kind of high on these, man. They're looking at like 300 smackers plus, you know what I mean? And it's one of the most expensive flagship model shoes that you can get, and that's kind of why I would expect that they're sitting a bit, because not only is it a super loud colorway for Canada, but I mean, shoot, it's just expensive as heck. I mean, you know, in the first scuff you get on them, especially if you're on a schoolyard, you're gonna start crying and mom's gonna slap you up. So it just is what it is, man. I do like these shoes. I'm a huge fan of the Foamposites. The only problem though is the inner being Volt on Volt on Volt, except for the very insole there with the air branding. This tends to get dirty pretty quickly if you're wearing dark colored jeans, and really that's kind of what you're gonna wear them with. You're gonna wear pair of these with a lot of black, so that tends to pill up and it tends to get dirty pretty quick. I don't think there's a way to get around that, but that's one drawback about wearing a full volt Foamposite. Do you think that they should have never hit the surface of the planet in the first place? Too bright for your eyes? Sorry, homie, it's not my fault. These are hardcore. Another thing you're gonna notice the minute you put these shoes on is how comfortable that this shoe really is when it starts squeezing the shit out of your foot. You know what I mean? It's one of those like foot hugging shoes, and it's really sturdy, but it's really like it's hard on the outside, but it's so soft on the inside, just like so many of you ladies. But anyways, yeah, man, when you put your foot into that, and wow, ladies, wow. Anyways, yeah, that neoprene booty is exceptionally soft, and it just hugs your foot, and it's almost like a one-to-one fit when you put it on. Battle armor on outside, but it's super comfy and plush on the inside. I guarantee if you bought one of these and you was originally had them in the 90s, you had a lot of people on your block trying to touch your feet that week. If you guys are impressed with these, you're gonna love the Barkley and Chuck Posits I got. The best way to describe it is you better get your size right the first time, because if you get your size right on these shoes, they're gonna fit amazing. Now, it's one of the first shoes that has a full length zoom pad in the insole. So I mean, when you're talking about zoom technology, this thing feels amazing. It has a neoprene inner booty that's actually the same color as the rest of the Foamposite here. Large Foamposite tag and branding on the back. Now, this is a sturdy pull tab because it's actually hard to get these shoes on, so I think that they had to double down and make these extra thick, and I'm glad they did because it's a really nice touch. I think before they had an official colorway for this, they was calling this like highlighter yellow is what they're calling this colorway, because I don't know how they came with Volt. I don't even know where Volt comes into the spectrum on these. I really am a fan of this outsole. I do like the Foamposite regulars, not the pros as well, but I think the pros have a more interesting approach to their, you know, singular pad, herringbone design, and you have your all black Nike swoosh there. That's really cool. It has like a nice texture to it, and it feels like, yeah, it feels like almost like PlayStation controller-y. You know what I mean? When you first get that PlayStation controller in hand, you buy it and it feels great at first before, you know what I mean, all them Doritos chips and, you know, Pornhub memberships get to your controller and starts wearing it out. Looking at this carbon fiber now, I don't see carbon fiber very often that's quite like this. This is a fully Volt and black carbon fiber. That's actually amazing. I've never seen that before, and wow, that hits. We all kind of know how this Foamposite stuff's made, right? It's basically formed using a mold that's actually, well, originally it sits upside down when the mold's being poured, and they basically pour the mold over the casting, and it kind of forms over into this one solid piece. And maybe they, you know, they have one seam here where they stitch it, but that was considered high-ass technology back in the 90s. I mean, especially like even now, I was reading up on the Foamposites basically, and the mold itself costed millions of dollars. That's part of the reason that this shoe was so expensive to begin with. When you're looking at detailing and the tech that's involved in these shoes, I used to hate on these, man, because to tell you the truth, the only Foamposites I used to see were beat. Like people, it looked like people was using them for construction. Like I never seen a fresh pair of Foamposites for like years until, you know, I got out of high school. The thing about these Foamposites that's really special, well, this is actually the Foamposite Pro. Before I get any further, just for the people in the comment section that are already like, you know, having a heart attack, you know, these things are super rare. They were going for pretty expensive on StockX. If you guys were or weren't aware, I heard two rumors. I heard that it was designed after a Beetle, and I also heard it was designed after a sunglasses case. So I don't know which one's really true or not. I don't know 100%, but I mean, like, either way, God bless. These were actually made for Pippin, and when Penny saw these in the bag, he actually like had to have them. And Mike Bibby is actually the first person to wear these on court. So, but Penny is the person that eventually made it famous. There's like endless possibilities when it comes to customizing for these. Give them a quick spray down, a quick primer. Now you got customs all day with these bad boys. Actually, yo, my bad. I actually checked online and they cost like $330, or I checked my receipt rather, and they costed about $330. So pretty steep penny, man. You got to make sure that you're really for sure about your investment. Now, when it comes to sizing, I would highly suggest you go up half a size with these, because Foamposites are known to go narrow and run narrow, and last thing you want is your foot bleeding in a shoe that does not stretch widthwise. So make sure that you get your sizing right before you buy these, or you will 100% be sorry, and you're gonna like be in denial trying to wear them and like, oh, they're gonna break in. Like, no, only thing that's gonna break is your willpower and like your pinky toe, and that's basically what's gonna happen. So look at the back, man. Like, look at the lines on this Nike swoosh on the back. Like, you know, it's pretty dope. And obviously, I like 100%, I've rambled about this a million times on my channel about having a clear sole, but I've seen the older version of these shoes and they wearing well. The only problem with foams obviously is that, dog, you scuff these and you're in some trouble. They ain't never gonna look the same. You best gotta have some Angelus shoe paint or something to cover that up. But even then, usually they got that gloss finish on them, so you ain't gonna never get these to look the same again. You might as well toss them to your little nephew or something. This is definitely a good investment if you guys are into Volts, and Foamposites are like goddamn bulletproof. I got Foamposites that are from early to like from when I was in high school that are still around. So you know what I mean, people still wearing them because of that full length zoom pods are really durable, it turns out, and so are these. They're built to last, man. So that's one thing I really like about these shoes. Hit that like and subscribe button for your boy. You already know what it is, man. I would usually go like in depth on like the history of the Foamposite, but I believe you guys are going to be happy that I saved that for another video. Wife, you don't like that I kept these, but it was worth it. It's all worth it. The foams. I finally got them. You got the foams when you were in public school, you was winning, and your parents was probably doing pretty good because these was always expensive no matter what. I remember even back in the day in high school, I couldn't get these for sure, man. Then just is what it is, man. You poor when you're young. So I mean, if you score you some of these, or if you convince your parents to buy you some of these, or you're a grown-ass man and you ain't never had these and now you have the ability to buy them, yo, scoop them up as soon as they come, because these shoot up in price, man. They're basically weatherproof, man. Super easy to clean, provided you don't scuff them up or scratch them. These are exceptionally vulnerable to marks and scratches and stuff like that, but for the most part you ain't got to worry about creasing though, because there's like no toe box to crease, and the fact that this lacelet system runs so far down your toes, it really complements the tongue of the shoe, and that's one feature that's actually pretty different than most shoes. Another detail I noticed about the Foamposites is how well that Nike did in matching the Volt colors. Sometimes with reds, for instance, they get the color matching off and it looks really weird. So I mean, they did such a crazy job at getting Volt to Volt to Volt to Volt on so many different textures. You don't really see too many glue stains, and that 3/4 inch I'm gonna call it 3/4 length shank plate is one of the thickest you'll ever find on a shoe. Like, that thing is bulletproof, like, you know what I mean? You know, they market it as a full length shank plate, but you know, it basically goes from here, from the heel to about 3/4 way up the shoe. So, and you can kind of see it on this one, actually. Tell the truth, you can see it kind of creep up. As usual, let's take a look at the box. We have the all black, triple black Nike branded box. Air Foamposite Pro Volt Black, size 10.5, made in China. And you have your RFID strip there, of course. Canadian retail price $305, aka ain't nobody gonna buy that shit for you except for yourself. $305 retail. Jesus, Nike, club me over the head when I walk in the store and take my fucking wallet while you're at it, man. Just in case though, you know, make sure you got a good dodge and weave game for when you ask your moms or your girlfriend to buy you these, because like you might gotta have a good exit strategy out of the mall, because she finna whoop that ass when you ask them for these. You know what I'm saying? This is one of these. These is one of these ones you gonna have to get your ass whooped, or you gonna have to have some honor roll grades. You better hope your dad's Dwayne Wade in this bitch. What I really want to know is, what was your first pair of Foamposites, because like I feel like if you're even clicking on this video, you're a Foamposite head. You gotta be brave to be wearing these, man. You gotta have some hair on your nutsack to be wearing these. If you're a fan of these extreme colorways, you know what I'm saying, this is for you. I wear what I like, not what's the hype, you know what I mean? That's gonna be my new slogan. Thank God they lifted the NBA code for what the players could wear, because there's no way they would have got away with something, wearing some shit like this. This would have been impossible back in the 90s. They would have never allowed this to be worn. This shoe's voted most likely to cause a car accident. How hard is this shit to keep clean? Like, let's be honest, man. You catch your one stain on this and you're slapping a man up. Death eyes. Anyways, guys, that's the review for this week. For like the next couple days. What am I talking about? Anyways, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button for your boy. You already know, helps me out in the algorithms. Let me know what you guys think of this shoe. Was it fire? Did you cop? Did you not? Did you leave these on the shelf where they might belong, or did you buy them to annoy your girlfriend? Let me know in the comment section. Romeo the Retro God, you already know what it is, man. Back with another one. About to hit you guys with that on foot right now, so stay tuned. I'm gonna show you guys how fire these look on foot. So yo, I'll catch you guys on the next one, dog. Let's go. You already know.